Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're a new viewer, please go down and click that subscribe button and that little bell notification icon so you'll be notified when I publish new content. If you're a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you very much. If you do need IT consulting, go to williehowe.com, fill out that contact form, and someone will be in touch with you as soon as possible. If we can't help you, we'll get you to someone who can. Now, why you're here, because you want to know all the answers to all the questions. And so let's actually take a look at that. I was so overwhelmed with the response to this video. Thank you to everybody. So what we're going to do is we are going to go through the YouTube comments and we are going to answer as many questions as we can here. So here is the first question. Why isn't Let's Encrypt built into the controller already? That I don't know. I am logged into the UDM here, so we will take a look at a lot of the things that we can. All right, so the next question is, can you use a site-to-site VPN with its built-in USG with another normal standalone USG? Yes, if you have another USG at another site and you want to do a site-to-site VPN, you can absolutely still do that. So if we go over here and we go to networks, we go to create network, and we do site-to-site VPN, you can see that the auto IPsec VTI is coming soon, but you can see that that manual IPsec and the open VPN, they still exist. So yes, you can do that. Okay, next question. Ronnie says, so far, the only downside for me is the lack of PoE to supply 1 to 2 other access points or US8 switches. So I believe there's another product that's in early access that we can't talk about here yet that has PoE out, and it may be in the UDM family. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But yes, as far as I know, this thing has PoE. If it's got PoE out, I don't know anything about that at the moment. Okay. Jonathan says, I'd be interested to see a comparison contrast with buying the components individually. AP switch, cloud key, gateway. What do we give up by going with the integrated system? Do we gain anything? Well, if you go with the system the way it is with a UDM right now, you cannot have multiple sites. Other than that, you can put any other UniFi devices behind this and adopt them into the controller. It's a full-fledged UniFi controller. Besides, we can't do multiple sites. Now, I would have to think that if Ubiquiti is going down this road, and I don't know any more than you do, but I would have to think that at some point in the Ubiquiti cloud software, the unifi.ui.com site, I would have to think that they're going to have an option where you can take 2 different UDMs and create a VPN between the two automatically, just like we do when we have multiple sites. That's just a guess. I don't know anything that you don't know. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. That's just an educated guess, and it could be wrong. All right. Tony says, this with PoE ports and ability to use access points would make a nice consumer-friendly setup for larger spaces and extended reach. Yeah, absolutely. So if you don't need everything for multiple sites, this can do everything. Plus, it has 2FA built in, which, you know, I'm a huge fan of two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication. Well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and coin that. Two-factor authentication. All right, so, but you know I'm a huge fan of that. Or it says, I would love to see more about the compatibility with OpenVPN. So the OpenVPN on this is for a site-to-site VPN. Now, the remote user only has L2TP IPsec, which is great. PPTP is obsolete, should not be used. But the site-to-site is OpenVPN. And if you'd like to see a video on how to configure site-to-site VPN, open VPN with UniFi, give me a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments. Let me know if you want to see that open VPN video. All right, somebody asks, actually not somebody, Merrick, and I hope I didn't blow that up too bad. Is it possible to configure one of the LAN ports as WAN 2 for failover? So let's go over here. Let's go to networks. We'll cancel this one. We'll create a new network. And you can see when I do create new network with the current UDM where it's at, I get no option to create another WAN network. So I'm going to have to say right now, as of the recording of this video, the answer is, can we reassign one of the other ports as a WAN port? The answer is no. Somebody asked, any idea if Wi-Fi 6 access point coming out soon or any new 10 gig switches? I don't know. If you do follow the Ubiquiti Reddit or you're on the Discord, I believe that the Amplify line of Ubiquiti does have a Wi-Fi 6 device coming. I think I saw something about that, but you'd have to check the Reddit or the Discord. Is there an easy way to transition the settings of a current USG over to the UDM? I haven't done it, but I have heard that, yes, you can export a site and import it into the UDM. If you'd like to see a video on that, let me know down in the comments. Once we have the UDM, can we simply transfer my current USG settings over to get my current configuration? Like I said in the last comment, I do believe that we can do that. If you want to see that, let me know. It'll either go great or it will be a failure. Tutorial on adding a certificate would be awesome. I agree that that would be awesome. So if you want to see how to add an SSL certificate to your UDM, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and let me know that you want to see that video. Chris says, I'd like to see an in-depth look at the security features, but I'd like to see more on the IP version 6 management side as everyone else ignores this. Presumably, you can still drop in JSON files to customize things not in the GUI. No, Chris, you cannot. The UniFi Dream Machine, the UDM, does not support JSON files, and I am so thankful that Ubiquiti finally decided to get rid of that, because the JSON files are in my opinion, they're a train wreck waiting to happen. As far as though the IP version 6, if you want to see an IP version 6 video, let me know. I obviously can't cover all that in this video, but based on your feedback in the comments and how many thumbs up and stuff I get like that, that'll let me know what content you want to see. I'm curious if the UDM will support adding APs via the wireless meshing. Absolutely it will, because I have an AP over here that is meshed to a UDM, and it works beautifully. So yes. Brad says, thanks, Willie. I've been very curious to get your opinion on this. We appreciate you too. Well, Brad, I appreciate you and everybody out there. My opinion on this device. I don't know any more than you all know about the future or where they're going or anything like that. But as a standalone device, I could put this in my living room. I could put this in my mom's living room. I could put this in, if I did Wi-Fi for higher end homes, I could put this in a living room. No problem. It provides all the functionality. I think there's definitely a market for this. Ubiquiti hasn't been real clear about defining that market for us. So we'll just have to see, how that goes. But definitely they've put a lot of work into this. They've written an operating system for this. I mean, I don't think this is like an MFi type. I think this is going to be around for the long haul, especially when you see the other product that's currently, as of the recording of this video, in the early access store. I mean, it's not a one-trick pony. All right, so somebody says, I would like to see a video configuring VLANs on the UDM. For whatever reason, I can't seem to get it to work on my UDM. Okay, let's create a VLAN. So we're over on our network page. We're going to click Create Network. We're going to call this VLAN 2. And I'm not going to make it a VLAN only because I don't want it to only be on the switch. I want the gateway in here to actually have that layer 3 connection too. So I'm going to call this VLAN 2, and we're going to make this 192.168.22.1. You know what? We're going to make that VLAN 22 so that it stays kind of within my range of how I do that. And I'm going to click save, and the VLAN 2 network was created. So that is how easy it is to create VLANs. And I know this is an all-in-one device, so it may seem kind of confusing, but this device is doing the exact same thing that your USG and your UniFi switches are going to do when you create that, where all of these switch ports have all of these VLANs all the time. They're basically a trunk until we go in and assign different profiles to them. Someone asked, does this replace the cloud key and the USG? At a single site, it can replace the cloud key and the USG and an access point and a switch. It can replace all those devices for the right size. And then you can also add other devices behind it. If you want to see a video where we put a bunch of other UniFi devices behind this, let me know down in the comments and make sure you give it a thumbs up. All right, somebody says, thank you for sharing this. This really is a dream machine. I want to hopefully get into UBNT products in the future. And if you didn't know, the company they were going by UBNT, and now they're going by UI as their how they've kind of renamed things a little bit. Yeah, this is a great concept. So we'll have to see where it goes in the future. So the last video that I did a basic setup. If you want to see more setups with this, just let me know down in the comments. Let's see. Yeah, people are upset because it doesn't have multiple sites, but I think things will get clear with the direction that Ubiquiti is going with this device in the future. You're just going to have to hang in there. I don't even know. So I'm not trying to discount the hardware. The hardware is solid. So we just have to wait until Ubiquiti lets us know where they're going with this. Who is my ISP? I didn't think you could get fiber out in the country. So I'm country, but I'm not like country. Does that make any sense? So we're close enough, and there's enough people that they ran fiber down the road and then fiber to the house, and then they do that weird conversion. So what speed can the IDS IPS handle on the UDM? On this product can handle, I believe, at least 700 megabits per second. It's pretty fast. Now, somebody's going to let me know that I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's almost a gig, almost a gigabit on this, if not a gigabit. So it's a completely different architecture and a completely different operating system and a completely different piece of hardware than what you know as the USG right now. Let's see. Do you need another Ubiquiti router to provide the internet to the Dream Machine, or can the UDM handle this? So let's hop over here. Let's edit our WAN. And what this question was asking, and this was Paul. Paul was asking, can the WAN interface on this be set up as PPPoE? And if we come over here and we edit our WAN, the IPv4 can be DHCP, static IP, or PPPoE. So yes, the UDM can do PPPoE. Jeremy asks, hi, Willie. I'm interested to hear if you can install Git on UBOS. If so, can you run a security scan on it? I'm curious to see what its index I Git be for this first release. I don't know much about the UBOS, but let's just take a look real quick. We'll take a look at it real quick. Let's see, first of all, what happens if we do an apt-get? Okay, so it doesn't have the apt package manager, so I don't know if it's based on Debian or not. I'm not sure. Here you go, though. Here's something interesting. If we do an info right here, it shows us. So if you've SSH'd into another UniFi device and did an info, you'll see this. I wonder if we can do a set inform. Nope, the set inform command is not known. So I'd actually ask them, and I think this is a question coming up, but it doesn't look like we can do a set inform here. Let's see if we can do. So if I do a set and then I want to see what other commands come with set, it does not look like there is a set inform command there at all. There's no inform command there. So, you know, Ubiquiti knows what they're doing here. Jeremy, if you want to see some more in-depth stuff on this, we can dig into this. We could do like a video on everything going on under the hood here, and I'm pretty sure I completely slaughtered your question. But we can definitely get into some more of the Linux guts on this. This was kind of a high-level overview, so if you want to see more of that, let me know. I could probably even get you access to this device. All right, let's see. Somebody says, interesting device, and I'll probably be setting up a network for my parents in the next few months. It could be timely. The all-in-one configuration will definitely make installation simpler, but it also means I can't replace parts of the system piecemeal, which has historically been a big strength of the UniFi product line. So I think, let's finish this. Curious to know if the UBOS is anything different than what they already have. Yeah, so it is different. If you saw that, we were poking around there. It is different. And the big advantage to this is you don't have to have a whole rack worth of equipment. It's one device in the living room or wherever. So this is in the very back corner of my house, and our house is 2,700 square feet, 2 levels, and I can get the Wi-Fi just from the built-in AP throughout the entire house. Once again, your mileage may vary on that. And most people are going for this IDS IPS capabilities. Yeah, we can do, if you want to know more about the IDS IPS, I did a video last year on that and about what was going on under the hood. But if you want to know more about the IDS IPS and you want to see videos on that, let me know down in the comments. Let's see, where does it save its auto backups? Well, let's take a look here. So if we go to backup and we enable auto backup and we'll apply that, we're over here. So it is going to be so our present working directory is user lib UniFi data backup auto backup. There's no place in the UI to change that. I don't know if there's anything available under the hood for that or not. Let's see. Yeah, so the maximum speed of this, once again, I don't have fast enough internet to max it out. I can tell you that. But I think it's at least, for some reason, the number 700 is sticking in my head. Can the UDM be used as access points for additional Wi-Fi coverage? You can adopt other access points to this and extend your coverage. But like I said, I've got one of these. This is in my office, the very far basement corner of the house, and it covers 2,700 square feet. When you define firewall rules, do you make any difference between the UDM LAN ports and the internal network and the other switches defined in the same network? Not 100% sure what that means, but on this device, the four switch ports are seen as a switch. So it's not like when we're creating firewall rules, we're treating that any different than we did with regular UniFi. So maybe Stefan, if you see this video, you can clarify on that a little bit. Ben Sims says, ready to see a teardown of this. Nah. If you go out to, I think it's either on the Reddit or on the Discord, there is, and I'm talking about the Ubiquiti Discord and the Ubiquiti Reddit. There's a guy out there who does tear all this stuff down, and you can find those pictures. Let's see. How do you do VPN? Exactly like we explained it a little bit ago. Would like to see a VPN speed test. So we'll have to get a VPN set up. So if anybody else has a UDM and you would like to do a quick video for a VPN, please let me know. Shoot me an email. Fill out my contact form. I would like to see what the Open VPN performance is like on this. Because this has a lot more horsepower than a standard USG, I would expect OpenVPN to perform hands down better. So I'm interested in that. But I need a device as equally as powerful on the other side. Let's see. I would like to see a video about how to integrate a UDM into an existing. So if you all want to see me export a config from a current UniFi setup and import it in here, let me know down in the comments. Make sure you give that a thumbs up. Let's see here. Does it support dual WAN with load balancing? Right now, no, it does not. Any way to do a video on replacing a USG and cloud key on a UDM on a LAN with 192.168.2 dot addresses? I would like to bring my existing controller config into this. So I think if we get enough wants and enough thumbs up and enough people saying, hey, let's do that, then we'll do that video and you'll see exactly how that works. Yeah, I don't have a beacon. Steve says, I wonder how this along with the beacons compared to an Orbi. I don't have a beacon. I'd love to have one. Ubiquiti, if you're hearing me. By the way, thank you to Ubiquiti for sending this unit out to me. So Chris asks, can this unit be used upstream of rack-mounted switches, both non-powered and PoE? Yes, it absolutely can. You can adopt every other Ubiquiti device to this if it is behind it. And you can't create sites, but you could create firewall rules. I did test this. So you could create a WAN local rule that opens 8080 and 8443, and you could manage this remotely. I have tested that and it does work. So somebody else want an SSL certificate. Power consumption, I don't know. We'll have to come up with a clever way to measure that. I've got some smart plugs over there, so I'll have to see which one of those will let me track power consumption, and then we'll get that plugged in. So if you're interested in the power consumption, let me know. Make sure you're giving a thumbs up there. Jeff says, beard game on point, great review. I'm loving my UDMP, and that's the one we can't talk about. And thank you for the comments on the beard. It is cold here. Let's see. Yes, we can configure VLANs. We saw that. Performance with IDS, IPS. Let's see. If the internet does not work, would I still be able to log in to the UniFi using 2FA? That I don't know. That's a great question. We can try it real quick. So let's log out. And I'm going to unplug my WAN uplink. So right now, the UDM has no WAN uplink. So it let me in without two-factor authentication, which was definitely not something that that I expected. So let's sign out. We'll log out. I'm going to plug the WAN back in. But you know what? If you're not connected to the internet and you're local, is two-factor authentication as important? Okay, so we answered so many questions that the battery in my camera went dead, so I had to swap some things out, and now we're back. So Douglas asks, the USG and switch 60 run hot. What about the UDM? So it doesn't run too bad, about 100 degrees Fahrenheit to the touch, which is not bad at all. If you go to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you will see pictures that I have posted of the thermal profile of the UDM. All right, so let's see. I think we're getting close to the end of the questions here. A couple of questions, if I may. Since this has a cloud key built in, will this work with Ubiquiti's cameras if they're a PoE switch hooked up? So this doesn't have protect running, so I'm going to have to say no on that. This is not the other system. I don't think it will work with Amplify HD Mesh. Don't think it'll work with that either unless you plug the WAN into the base on that to get internet. So yeah. All right. I'd want to know if you can add an additional SSID the way you normally do. So let's see if we can add another SSID. We're going to come in here and we're going to go to wireless networks and we're going to create a wireless network and we're going to call this blah. And let's see. Yep, we can create a wireless network exactly the way we do in the other UniFi controller. All right, can you block URLs since most home routers allow this and is targeted as a supercharged Soho router wireless product? Let's see, probably using the wouldn't be GeoIP, probably be a DPI restriction. If you do that, if you want to see videos on DPI restrictions, let me know. I'm going to say there's like a 90% chance that we can do that, but there are a lot of things that complicate that. Adrian says, I would be interested to know if this supports guest networks, VLANs, and what VPN options are. So we went over the VLANs, the VPN options, and yes, it does support. So if I go to the wireless network and I make blah a guest network, blah is now a guest network. I can also create, I can take this VLAN right here that I had tagged for corporate and I can make it guest. And then I can come over to this wireless network over here and I can apply VLAN 22. And that's done now. That's completely segregated and we're done. We're done. This thing's broadcast and blah. And it's a completely segregated secure network. All right. Can you get a USG commit? Yeah. So we'll, if there's enough people that want to see us import a UniFi site from another controller into this, we will definitely do that. So the speed with the smart queues turned on will limit your speed to whatever. So let's say you're supposed to have gigabit, but for some reason that day you're only getting 400 megs on the test. The smart queue is going to limit you to 400 megs, so you need to pay attention to that. Yep, the guest network was available. Is the hotspot stuff available? That is. So let's enable the guest portal. So you can see, yes, full guest portal is in the UDM. And I would expect that. If I had to guess, I would say you're going to see a lot of shared features and a lot of common firmware, at least the base between the devices. Is this susceptible to data corruption in the event of a power loss? I don't know. That is great. That is a great question about this device. I don't know. Someone says, how does the performance on this compare to an Eero Pro? Don't know. Never ran that. Can you set up an aggregated dual LAN port between the UDM Pro? I don't know because this is... but you know what? Can we? You know what? That's a great question. Can we do link aggregation here? So let's look at our switch. Let's go to port 2. We'll edit port 2. And let's do our profile overrides. Does not look let's do port 3. It does not look like we can do link aggregation on the built-in switch. Let's see what we got under profiles, if there's anything different under switch port profiles here. Nope, same stuff. Maybe something under advanced. Nope, same stuff. So no link aggregation on this. But probably, I'm going to bet if you had a regular UniFi switch plugged into this that you could do that. Can you still clone a MAC address? I don't. No, this does not support the JSON file, the config.gateway.json file. So no, the best way to do that is to call your ISP and give them the MAC address and let them do that the way that they should be handling it. So you could manage this through ICMP with UNMS, but no, there is no standard UNMS integration with this device. And let's see. A lot of people are really excited about this. This UDM right now cannot do multiple WANs, and I don't know how many clients, but it's more powerful than the current USGs, so it can handle a lot of clients if you set it up properly, I'm sure. Let's see. Street price on this is 299 USDs, United States dollars. Let's see. I'd like to know if you have the ability to manage the internet throughput or bandwidth that wired devices consume, because I can't do this. So no, you can only use the smart queues. We still don't have some of that other QoS stuff built in. All right. No, there is no bridge mode in this device. Somebody asked if we had bridge mode. Beyond the obvious simplicity of this, is there any reason this is better than buying a USG, a switch, and an access point, and a cloud key? So if you have a site where you need everything to be all in one, they don't want a huge comms rack, and they want to put this thing in the living room, this thing's going to blend in. And I can only imagine that if it's popular, we might see color options, we might see skins. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know more than you do, but if it gets popular, why not, right? Yeah, no hard drive in this thing. Let's see. Somebody asked, why did you set 1024 instead of ISP settings? So I am double natted. So in that first video, I set the upload and download to a gigabit, because if I didn't, since I'm running this double natted, it limited the speed of my WAN port, so I couldn't get full gigabit on the inside of my network behind this device. Yes, you can add additional APs and switches. If you want to see that, let me know down in the comments. So we've gone through a lot of these questions. No, these ports are not PoE enabled. So I'm seeing a lot of the same questions, but it's really good that you guys are interested in this, and that we're definitely able to, take a look at this device. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of the same questions about restoring other controllers into this. Obviously, there's some interest for the SSL certificate. So, and yes, we can do VLANs on this. So that is it for this video. I wanted to take some time. I wanted to answer all your questions and get through this, because let me know what you want to see as far as UDM videos go, and we'll make a playlist and we'll crank those out. But I've got some really awesome Grand Stream videos coming up, so look for those. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please comment and share. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You are under no obligation to use my affiliate links, but all of my affiliate links are below. If you'd like to help the channel, every time you use an affiliate link, it does kick a couple bucks over here, and it doesn't change your price. Once again, I want to thank Ubiquiti for sending this UDM out to me. If you need IT consulting, go to williehowe.com, fill out that contact form, and we'll contact you. And if you want to support the channel by becoming a patron on Patreon, and thank you to those folks, that link is down below. I'm Willie, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.